All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're talking about how Oyster Creative Co. streamlines collaboration with a whole bunch of clients, over 10 clients. So, again, thanks for joining us. And as per usual, we would love to know in the chat where the heck you're joining from and what is your weather like. My weather is looking a little cloudy today, but like it's not snowing. We were talking about that earlier. I know a lot of places have snow right now, so I feel for you. I don't have it yet here, but probably sometime soon. So I'm just going to get started because we have a lot to cover today. If you are new to HeyOrca webinars, maybe this is your first webinar, I'll give you a really quick rundown. So we're HeyOrca. We're a social media management tool for teams and agencies. So really good if you manage social media and have a lot of people to collaborate with. Because we have unlimited users, free unlimited users on every plan. And so I'm Lyle. I work at HeyOrca. I'm our product marketing manager. And I'm going to quickly pass it to Kylie and then Georgia to introduce themselves.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, everyone. I'm Kylie McCracken, Director of Communications and Strategy at Oyster Creative. I head up our accounts team, our client-facing initiatives, and day-to-day contact for a lot of our clients.
And I'm Georgia Streitman. I'm a communications strategist. I work closely with Kylie and our account team, similar sorts of responsibilities, and just day-to-day client stuff and collaboration.
Awesome. We love it. We love that word, collaboration. We're super excited to have you guys here. Okay, we do have a LinkedIn poll. This poll is just for fun, but we'd love for you to answer. So the HeyOrca pod's going to drop the link in the chat. But the poll question today is, how many social media clients or brands do you manage? So clients if you are at an agency, and brands if you work in-house and manage multiple brands. How many of those do you manage? We also have, perhaps more exciting than the poll, more fun perhaps, a giveaway contest. So we're asking you to share what you learned from this webinar on LinkedIn and tag us so that we can see it. And Tuesday at noon, we're going to randomly choose someone who tagged us to win a $50 Amazon gift card. And I'm stealing this tip from Alyssa, who always says, her tip is take a screenshot of something so it's easier for you to write your post. And you can just use that screenshot as the image on your post if you choose to, but that makes it a lot easier to write your post. Okay, I am going to show you, I'm going to try and do a live demo, which is something a little different for our webinar, so bear with me, but I wanted to show you really quickly the HeyOrca Inspo library because I got a sneak peek of Kylie and Georgia's presentation. And I know they talk about the Inspo library, so I just want to make sure everyone knows what they're talking about and is on the same page. So I'll take you through a quick, I'm not going to do the demo, guys, because I'm not a salesperson. I just want to show you what it looks like. So one moment. Okay. So this is the HeyOrca calendar, and I want to show you this little tab here. So this says Inspo with the little, light bulb. So if you click on this, you're going to go to your Inspo library, and this is a place where you can collect a whole bunch of different Instagram reels or TikTok videos that you see as you're scrolling. Let's say you scroll past one, you're like, oh my gosh, I want to recreate this with my team. You can add it to this library so that you're not sending links through DMs or Facebook Messenger, having links all over the place or sending people screenshots, because I know as a social media manager that can get really messy really fast. So instead, you can send them all to your Inspo dashboard, your Inspo library, which comes on all HeyOrca plans, even our free plan. And I'll just take you through it really quickly. So you can see here, this piece of inspo, this one, actually Alyssa added a lot of them here. So it says added by Alyssa. And then she also added notes because, of course, I'm just looking at this. I don't necessarily have the context. So you can see here, she says trend for the HeyOrca brief, trend for the HeyOrca brief. And then Jess is in this. She's our social media manager. She's in this every single day. And so she's adding a whole bunch of trends that we should recreate. So she's saying here in the note, what if we click approve on mobile in different locations, just dumping some ideas in here. And so at HeyOrca, we use this a lot if we're collecting trends, because of course, we're a social media management tool, so we do a lot of trends, but that doesn't mean that you necessarily at your company do a lot of trends. So you can save really anything that brings you inspiration. So like maybe you like this hook, or you like the editing, or you like the content, the format, whatever it is, you can add it to your inspo library. And then if you're saving a whole bunch of different like themes like that, you can add it to collections, which is like our version of folders. So you can see in here, we have folders, Canva hacks, how social media managers work, etc. So this is what we're talking about when we're talking about the inspo library. This is why I started so early, guys, is because I need to get through this real quick. Okay, so if you're saving a link, you go to Instagram. Let's say I'm scrolling, and let's say I want to save this link. I just copy it. Or let's say my client sent me a link and they say, oh, I really want to recreate this. You can just grab the link, go here to add the inspo, add the link, add a note. I'm just going to say this is a test. And I'm very excited about the test, clearly, with all my exclamation points. And I can save it. And so you can see it pops up right here, added by Lyle. That's me. And it says this is a test. So my whole team can see this now. You can also save inspo from your phone. I have like a 20-second video to show you. And this video is Jonathan, our developer who created Inspo Library. He's showing you how to save it from your phone. But essentially all you do is as you're scrolling, you click that share button in Instagram or TikTok. And instead of like sharing it to email or sharing it to, I don't know, that person you text all the time from your team, you can just share it to the Inspo Library. So let me show you this really quickly.
Okay, so Inspo Library. Step 1 is to find a reel that you like. I like this one here with this handsome gentleman. So now to share this into HeyOrca, first I'm going to tap the share icon here, and that'll vary from platform. This is Instagram, but TikTok's a little different. Then I click share to. Now you see the HeyOrca app in the menu there. I'm just going to tap that, and that's going to bring me directly to the HeyOrca mobile app, where I can share it into the Inspo Library. Now I'm going to show you what that looks like on both mobile and desktop.
Okay, and he's not going to show us what it looks like on both mobile and desktop because we've already done that. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys that so we're all on the same page when Georgia and Kylie are talking about Inspo Library, but I've taken up enough of our time. So I want to hand it over to you guys so that we can get started. So I'll stop sharing and then I'll let you guys take over.
Sounds good. So I think while Georgia is getting us shared, I just want to say thank you all for joining. We're very excited to share some tips and ways that we collaborate directly with our clients using HeyOrca. And we already did a little bit of intros, but I think it would be helpful for Georgia and I to just quickly explain our backgrounds because I think we both have a little bit different backgrounds. So before joining Oyster, I worked for the University of Pittsburgh in their athletics department. And then I also worked in travel and tourism at Visit Pittsburgh. So very familiar with both the brand side and the agency side.
Yeah, and then I came originally from a graphic design background, a little bit of freelance art direction kind of work, and shifted gears when I came to Oyster initially as a project manager. And then found my way into communication strategy and that client side work. So a little bit of everything between the two of us, really. Yeah.
Jen, it is definitely a shucking knife. We'll talk a little bit about Oyster. Our one co-founder has it tattooed. So of course our logo is not going anywhere soon. But yeah, just a little bit about Oyster. We are located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we're an agency who's really not afraid to get our hands dirty. We like to say we bring great ideas from the muck to the main table. So we go out and we harvest ideas, and then we bring them in, and we develop. We want to give a pearl to all of our clients. So we discover the human stories and insights that really help us build brand communities for our clients. And I think Lyle, the whole HeyOrca team, does a great job of talking about building brand communities, and kind of our mission for our clients is to make sure we're doing that through storytelling and a lot of social media. And so just a little bit about our client roster. I think this is important to know, some of the background of the clients that we work with. We're going to walk through a lot of different examples of collaboration, but every example that we give is scalable, right? So we work with tons of different industries, team structures, budgets, content roles, compliance, legal, right? All the things. But just a little bit of a taste for what this is, we have clients that are internationally publicly traded companies. Some of them do, in fact, have top secret projects that we don't even know about or can't talk about, right? We work with some local kid-focused organizations that make a real difference in the community. We have a regional bank, and very fortunate that they have a passionate, active employee base already on social media. And then, even spanning that, we work with some nonprofit organizations who unfortunately have to navigate some of the U.S. cuts. So we're helping them strategically. How do we navigate that on social media? So huge range of our client roster. But at the end of the day, right, like why HeyOrca? And this is really why we're here. You guys know there's Hootsuite, there's Sprout Social, there's Octopus, there's all these other social media management platforms that exist. But for us, we love HeyOrca for two reasons. I'll go to the next slide. It's client focused and it is easy adoption for our teams. And the examples that we give is really, right, this is so user friendly for our clients. It's that one-stop shop that they can come to. We don't just have a social posting platform. We don't use spreadsheets. Who wants a spreadsheet anyways, no. Right? Like we don't use spreadsheets, but it's so client focused. And it's almost dummy proof, right? And I mean that in the nicest way possible. It's really hard to accidentally post something. So very intuitive, very user friendly. Lyle mentioned it already. We have unlimited seats. That's a huge bonus for us. And then the easy adoption. We have clients all the way from, client interns that we have on the teams for a couple of months to C-suite executives who are in the platform using HeyOrca. And so again, we'll talk about some examples, but these are the two kind of driving forces of HeyOrca and why we love it so much and the ways that we've been able to adopt it and to do a lot more client collaboration than ever before.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've put together a few case studies to walk through today. And, Kylie went through kind of an overview of our client roster, but we really like to start with Oyster as our initial client for everything. So, and that starts with our editorial calendar. So this is kind of the basic, how we use HeyOrca for ourselves and then how we apply it to clients. As always, anything content creation from social media to, I see questions about blogging and Pinterest, all of it, we plan it all together. But it's difficult to get that organized. Everything gets scattered across emails, Slack, your project management software, client calls, documents, it's everywhere, it's scattered, it's disorganized, it's hard to track all of the ideas, all of the pieces of content. So work gets duplicated. It's hard to get everybody aligned on the team. You have one person who's trying to chase this all down and they're running in circles trying to get everybody together. And then when we have clients that need to bring in subject matter experts for different topics, we can't get them in to review and provide clarity on our subjects. It's difficult to get everybody on the same track. And it creates delays, it creates that duplicated work, we miss deadlines, and it's just a mess. It's a headache. Makes us want to go cry in a corner some days, and it's not what anybody wants. So we, like I said, implemented some best practices with HeyOrca. We created this organized structure using the calendar and color coding system so that, everybody can log in and see at a glance what's being published when, who's expected to do it, what platform is it going out on, everything that you could possibly need to know, it's right there at your fingertips. And then we have regular meetings to align on everything that's going on, from exciting projects we want to highlight, events people are attending, speaking engagements, awards that are being presented, whatever it is, we want to know what it is, right? And then, like Lyle was saying, the inspo tab, we use this heavily to gather that inspiration in between our meetings so that we can stay on track together and know what we're creating. And this is kind of a glance at how we use the calendar and the color coordinating system for ourselves. You can see very clearly, what's what, where the holidays are, where we're posting, where we're not posting, what kind of content it is. Just makes it really easy to dig in. And the result from this is that we get buy-in super, super easily. Everybody, like Kylie said, from that sweet team to the brand new intern on day one, everybody can navigate this platform because it's so intuitive and it's so easy to use. We can get in there, we can review content, we can provide feedback really, really quickly. It's easy, the threshold is really low to get involved. Super transparent and everybody's super happy.
Yeah, and I'll just add a couple of these screenshots here. So the top one, you see Emily is our kind of direct point of contact, but Jamie was somebody who helped with one of the initiatives that we had going on. So we had an event, we were talking about it, and we were easily able to add Jamie into our calendar and ping her of, hey, Jamie, this is ready. Like, we just love for you to quickly review this, make sure it looks good, make sure it all sounds right, it's correct, we're tagging the right groups, right? And so we're not worried about, do we have enough seats to add people? Like, do we have to get Jamie training on the platform? Here's your link. We can quickly send it off to review. So again, just very easy. The collaboration of bringing in the different levels and the different stakeholders to quickly review content, I think is what's really key. So at any given time, if a CMO comes out and says, hey, what do we have going on marketing activity wise for next month? They're able to open up the HeyOrca calendar and pretty much see everything that we have planned in one place.
Yeah, and like Kylie said, we can get anybody in here at any time. It makes it easier to streamline that communication. So Emily's not sending an email off to Jamie, who then has to bring it back into HeyOrca or anything like that.
No spreadsheets, guys.
No
Although
spreadsheets
sometimes
here.
we do like them, but
I love a good spreadsheet, but this is not the time for it. So.
Yeah. So the second case study that has been a huge asset for us from HeyOrca is the compliance approvals, right? I know when I say this, we're probably not the only agency that, hey, everything we post has to go through compliance. Hey, everything we post has to go through the legal team. And so some of the challenges that we have are, reviews were being pulled out of the platform through a third party, whether they had to submit it, email it, share it in another document, whatever the case was. They're being pulled out. Feedback was then getting transferred. It was just a lot. It was a tedious process. We had some human errors. In one case, it was dependent very much on one employee. And if you can think they have an unexpected out of office or even a planned out of office, it was kind of just okay, well, I guess, any immediate content, we have to figure out another process for, right? And then when we had some edits, it was restarting the whole process. So it was a lot. And I think the other layer that we kind of struggled with is we had multiple approvers that we had to go through. So, say we have a compliance team of 20 people. It was just not all 20 people need to see a post necessarily, but how do we navigate that? So our solution is HeyOrca. We were able to add the full compliance team, right? Think all those 15 to 20 people into HeyOrca. Of course, limited what their access was. So they only had kind of access to comment, but not necessarily create posts, right? So they could approve it or decline it. But we have a process that we're tagging the next group for review. And in this case that we're showing, they're the final approver. Emily is kind of the lucky person that we're showcasing a lot of here in our screenshots, but you can see the example here of, at November 4th at 6:30 p.m. we said, hey, compliance, this is ready for review. And guess what? 8:30 the next morning, compliance is on it. They're hey, we got this, we received this, we tagged in the right person. So in this example, Michael is kind of that main compliance point of contact. Michael then tags who he deems as like the most important to see the process. And so the other piece here is the automated notification. So that person is able to review the content when it's ready. So it's not kind of like sitting through or waiting. And then built-in documentation and edit trail. Of course, if you guys work with compliance legal teams, they all want to see this. And that was kind of a big hesitation when we weren't working with HeyOrca and we had another platform. That was a big hesitation of like, no, we need to take this off the platform because we don't have access to this, or, you know, we can't easily go back, or after 2 years, this goes away, right? HeyOrca, this trail is never going to go away. We're always going to have access. And so that definitely was a great piece for us. So results and impact, you know, we got the stamp, the seal of approval. All of our content and our feedback stays in one platform. You guys kind of see there's a faster turnaround for approvals and edits. I mean, I think that our approval time before was, you know, up to 72 hours. And we saw there, I mean, we're like less than 24, which is really great. Reduced risk of errors and missed reviews, which is helpful. Again, complete documentation. And also our compliance teams and legal teams, they feel confident and like they're included in the overall process. I think that's important because they don't feel like blindsided on like, oh, why didn't I know about this like rush thing that's coming through? You know, at any given time, although they're not creating the content, they can still hop in and maybe have an idea of like what is coming their way soon. Yes, this is the world's largest oyster. We're oyster advocates. So thanks for noticing.
Yeah, so that takes us to our third case study, is that on-site content. So we have a wide variety of clients who do on-site events, from conferences and trade shows, internal workshops, things we want to shout out, but we want to be posting them live, right? And that can cause problems when you have compliance to deal with. You know, compliance needs to see everything still. So our challenge is getting that real-time content, getting it approved, making sure communication stays super fluid across time zones, packed schedules when you're on the ground, and sometimes even being in like different countries even, right? So you're dealing with, you know, email, you're dealing with WhatsApp, you're dealing with HeyOrca, whatever it is, it's all across the board. And then content sometimes has to change on the fly. You know, you thought you would have one set of resources or somebody, a specific person at your disposal, and they're busy or something didn't appear at the conference when it was supposed to or whatever. So you have to change on the fly. And a lot of decisions get left up to the team on the ground because of that, which is just an extra burden, an extra stress that's not needed. And then approvals get lax and compliance gets unhappy. So we prepare, divide, and conquer to tackle this challenge. We created clearly defined roles. So when we have a client or a team on site at a conference, they are only in charge of one set of jobs, right? They're collecting content. They are making sure it gets back to the offsite team. And then that offsite team is in charge of reviewing and approving and editing. So it's clear who's doing what. It makes it a lot less stressful, takes some things off of the on-ground team's plate. And then we use the HeyOrca mobile app to keep everything moving smoothly, from preparing content and captions in advance in the calendar so that you know what you need to capture and where it's going and when it's going live, to the inspiration library that gives us a point of reference. So, you know, if we've got an idea of a reel that we want to capture at this particular conference, you have a reference to show the team that's creating the reel. Or if you need to pivot, you've got some extra ideas in your back pocket there. And then all content can be uploaded directly into the media library, keeping everything in one place, which is super, super handy. Nothing's getting lost. And that means that everything gets shared really timely and nothing falls through the cracks. You know, our on-ground team is empowered to create content, to pivot when necessary. Everything is getting edited and reviewed offsite, like I said, so they're not stressing about making sure a story is put together correctly, or a reel is edited, or that copy is on brand and on message. So that reduces the risk of errors. It reduces stress load for everybody. And post-stay they're going out on time and they're staying on message so everybody can breathe easier. We're not losing sleep at night over here. So kind of our actionable takeaways from all of these case studies in a nutshell, or an oyster shell in this case, you know, where we have clear organization in the calendar to help make team alignment painless. Everybody can see everything at a glance. They know what's going on. We've built an approval flow that keeps everybody involved, engaged, keeps our content compliant on strategy. Our inspiration library makes it easier to share ideas and keep everybody in the loop. And then the mobile app keeps us on the go. It keeps us moving efficiently and smoothly.
Yeah.
So
we've done a lot of talking. Yeah. Here's our very festive mascot in the pumpkin Shucky patch, right? Like, you know, nothing says fall like our Shucky out there. But yeah, happy to open it up for any questions.
Awesome. You guys, I just have to say, you are so good at presenting. Like, I was hooked the whole time. So good. And I love this little Shucky picture. It's very on theme, I feel like. We did have a couple of questions. I think we should start with one of them. I have an answer to add after we go over your answer. But we had a question. When you're doing your approvals, are you manually adding the list of who needs to approve the post each time?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So what we do is we have a list of all of the compliance team, right? So we get them all onboarded to HeyOrca to know them. And then in the example that we showed, so it was Michael. Michael is our point of contact that basically tags in who needs to review that post from compliance, right? So say we have different business units. In this case, we'll say the bank. And this is a wealth management post. We'll have the person in compliance who's responsible kind of for wealth management. Michael knows that. Michael will tag that person in. So that's kind of, they're onboarded, they're in HeyOrca once. Our point of contact tags the right person. And because everyone has their notifications enabled, they'll get an email right away. This content needs their eyes.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. I'm also, just because I know everyone has a different workflow, I'm going to show you if I can figure out how to share my screen again. I'll show you another option in HeyOrca. Let's see if this works, you guys. Perfect. Okay, so another option really quickly is maybe if you don't need those like layered approvals for compliance, but you do have multiple people that can approve a post. This is a test post, so obviously you can see we're going to post about the webinar. So when that happens, go and like it. But this draft post, let's say I set this to awaiting approval. I can select anyone can approve, or I can say specific users must approve. So if you don't want to tag those people every time, or if it like for some reason doesn't work for your workflow, you can say specific users must approve, and then you can select those users. So I guess I won't go through this whole thing, but you can select whoever you want there. And then what happens is whoever basically gets to it first of those people that you've selected can approve the post. Once it's approved, it will publish. So that's another option for you if that works for your workflow. And I think we have more questions. So let me just pull those up. 1 second. Sorry, I lost all my tabs sharing my screen. Okay, here's a question. How do you deal with clients who have limited existing content? That's a tricky one.
Sure. I can.
Yeah.
Okay, Kelly, this is a good question. I think this is something that every agency experiences. But I'm going to flex another tool for HeyOrca that we use to help with this. So Georgia walked us through kind of the on-site stuff, but we do use HeyOrca's text to library feature. So we had a ribbon cutting event, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, and we know some of the folks who are going to be there. We're able to say, hey, we have this phone number. Can you grab a couple of pictures or even videos and text it directly to HeyOrca, and then it populates right into our calendar. So that has been super easy. It's been a great tool for us, especially then we don't have to worry about it coming to our personal phones, right? Everyone has access to the library. It's one phone number. I know that this is probably a pro plan. Lau, you can talk to some of that stuff, but that has just been great, especially you know, if we have different people doing different things across different states or internationally, that has worked out well for us to be able to get content. We don't necessarily have a photographer, videographer, or even us there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so a little extra on text to library. It is only available in Canada and the US right now, but if you are in a different location and you're a HeyOrca user and you really want this feature, please let us know, because we do listen to all that feedback and our team creates the tools that you guys want. And then the other thing is, for text to library, if you are using it, it's probably best for just images. If you try and send videos, just SMS, like text messages will compress that anyway. So those might get a little blurry. But like if you're just trying to collect iPhone photos or Android photos, if that's your thing, text to library is really good. To set it up, you do have to chat into our customer care and they'll set it up for you easy peasy. You can select your, what is it called? Area code that you want to use. And what else did I want to say about text to library? I've forgotten it. It's not on just the pro plan, actually. It is also on the basic plan. So as long as you're on a paid plan with HeyOrca, you do have access to that. Again, in Canada and the US. Sorry, I sound like a salesperson. I'm just trying to make sure you guys have all the info so you're not like disappointed or anything if you try and sign up and you're from the UK. Okay. That's enough talking for me. I have another question. How do you use the notes feature to keep things streamlined?
Ooh, yeah, go
this
ahead.
Is a fun
you
one.
Can take this.
So we didn't put this in our presentation, but we use the notes app section religiously. We've created a nice structure. We use it for our weekly or biweekly meetings to go over the social calendar. So we always have somebody in there taking notes. We start an agenda in there. We send it to clients ahead of time so they know what content we're looking at that week. And then we kind of take notes on like what needs to be edited, what needs to go to review. And we keep it all in there. So our clients who are in the calendar can also double check the notes. Like, oh, did we give them this piece of feedback already? Oh, do they have all the information about whatever event is coming up? You know, it's a great point of reference and it helps us stay all on the same page. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I think you guys, well, I mean, I don't know how everyone who uses HeyOrca uses the notes feature, but I would argue you guys probably use it the most creatively, like with your meeting agendas and everything. I think that's awesome because there's so much you can do it. The note is whatever you make it.
Yeah, it's a blank canvas. So
again, no more emails, no more Word docs. That's kind of
right there.
Goes into that like full client hub for us.
So true. Love that. Okay, I think we've covered all the questions, but if you are in the chat and you have another question, I'll give you like 20 seconds to get it in and then we'll be at time.
Yay.
I feel like doing like do music. Okay. I think that's everything. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I had so much fun. And next week, I think, what's next week? We have 2 webinars, I think, next week. So go check the HeyOrca webinar page because that should be really fun. All right. Thank you, Kylie, and thank you, Georgia.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good day. See ya.